Josh Quinn says, I do not know if this question relates to the book, and if not, I'm sorry, but it's something I have been wondering for a while. Is it really possible for people to change their personality types? I've heard it's possible for people to change personalities, and that for those who use MBTI to claim that it's not possible to change personalities is absurd. What are your two's thoughts on this? So, so the theory that I subscribe to is that there's two things. And the reason why I think people have arguments around this is because they're using personality to mean two slightly different things. So there's a personality type, right? So that goes into a type system, like Myers-Briggs is a type system, and the Enneagram is a type system. And they've got, and they're trying to sort of diagnose a slice of what is your overall personality, which is the emergent of a system of lots of different nodes, right? So your emergent overall personality is not just your Myers-Briggs type, and it's not just your Enneagram type, but it's also your influences throughout life, and it's whatever your DNA dumps into you in like all sorts of ways, and it's you know, it's
gender identity,
your gender, right? Or your identity in lots of different ways, or it's like it's, I mean, there's so many different components that go into your ultimate personality. Now, your ultimate personality, that does change over time because it includes things like values and interests. Values and interests change over time. So your ultimate personality, which is the emergent of that whole system running, that will change over time. But as far as your personality type or that single node, right, of the type in the Myers-Briggs system, that doesn't change.
We're talking about the wiring of your mind in that.
Right. We're talking about your cognitive function stack fundamentally. And that doesn't change. But what does change is your relationship to it. So when you're young, you have a tendency, or one has a tendency to overvalue their driver function. And they use it as often as possible, and they use it all different ways. But as you age, you start to get seasoned and mature, and you start developing other aspects of those cognitive functions. Eventually, arguably, if you have enough time in your life and developmental opportunities, all 8 of those functions will be something that you sort of go through throughout time and have a relationship with and find different components to and explore fully and flesh out, right? And so your personality will appear to have changed even as it relates to your personality type. Now, I've been an ENTP my entire life. But there were times when I was an asshole ENTP, right? And there was a time when I was kind of a cool ENTP, I think, right? And so—
What are you now?
I try to be the Zen cool, like, you know, Zen master ENTP. I'm not that good at it, but that's the attempt. But I try not to be the asshole ENTP anymore because that not only didn't serve me, but it also was not sustainable, and it didn't really make anybody feel particularly good. So my relationship with being an ENTP changed over time because I got more mature and I got more seasoned. I got more into my co-pilot of introverted thinking or accuracy. So I got radically honest with myself. I changed religions. I changed my entire, like, you know, sort of my sphere of influence. I changed my friend set. I changed where I lived, right? Lots of stuff changed because I was changing my relationship to being an ENTP and my function set. So when people say you can't change types in the Myers-Briggs system, what they're trying to say is you're not going to change the function stack of how your mind is wired, right? If you lead with extroverted intuition, you will always lead with extroverted intuition. If your auxiliary or co-pilot is introverted thinking or accuracy, you will always have that as your co-pilot. But what does change is your relationship to all of those functions and your ultimate personality, right? The personality, not the type, but the personality, which is the emergent of all these systems running, that definitely changes over time, right? So that's why there's this argument and this like sort of like the cross conversation, and everybody thinks everybody else is an idiot, okay? So that's what that conversation is. That said, I do believe that when it comes to the cognitive function wiring of your mind, that doesn't naturally change. I think that like extraordinary trauma can change that. So like, you know, like the bicameral, like that little camera, like the bridge that goes between your hemispheres, right? Like you have an accident that slices I can't remember specifically, but the connection point, right? And you're no longer bicameral, right? Now you like have 2 totally different spheres. Your function set is going to be irrelevant at that point. You're going to have changed types. Maybe not, you might even be outside of type, who knows? But so there are things that can change it. But that said, that's the conversation that's happening in my perspective. In my opinion, I think that's what's going on.
Hey, it's Joe Markwood and Tony Dodge. Thanks for watching that video. You can go get a copy of Personality Hacker in any bookstore online. You can order it from your local bookstore in your town, which is cool because then you can support the local bookstores in your town. But this book is really powerful. It's separate into two sections. The first part is theory of the system, of the way we approach Myers-Briggs. We talk about the CAR model. We unpack how to learn about your cognitive functions. And the second half of the book goes into each of the 16 individual personality types.